Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice. Welcome to a 1982 St. Louis Cardinal Stra-O-Matic replay. And we're about to get started. The lineup for it's going to be Cincinnati at St. Louis, game 1 of a 3-game set. And I believe this is game 31. And the lineup for the Cardinals is going to start off with Milner leading us off. He's in center fielder. The second baseman, Oster, at batting second. Batting third is Concepcion. Batting cleanup is Johnny Bench, and we're going to have an issue with his autographed card because it's autographed in marker, so it's going to be hard to read some of the results. We'll see what we do with that. Mike Vail in left field, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Dreesen, Dan Dreesen, the first baseman. Batting seventh is House. It's a name that I didn't recognize. Householder. He is the right fielder. Batting eighth is Alex Trevino, the catcher, and batting ninth is Frank Pastore, the pitcher for the Reds today. We're right about to get started. 1982 St. Louis Cardinals. Why I picked them? Well, because I had 1982 sitting around, and I said to myself, Right, I said to myself, will I ever play this? I don't know if I'll play it, but let me try. Let me try to do something a little bit different with it that I wouldn't normally do. I would normally play the Mets or the Yankees. In this case, I picked the St. Louis Cardinals because of Keith Hernandez. And just because they're a unique team to play with all their speed and so on. I did get thrown out 4 separate times in the last game that I played. I don't know why. It was always 65% that I would be safe, and I got thrown out 4 out of the 5 times. So that doesn't equal to 65%. But that's what it is. I have some very cool envelopes here. These are not okay. These are not the envelopes that I thought they were. Okay, no. These are standard label envelopes, but at least have they tell you that the Cardinals were 92 and 70. Right now we're game 31, and we're about 6 or 7 games below 500. So we're not doing as well as we should. We're going to get started. Here's John Martin. He's a left-hander. And that's going to be a 4 against a left-hander. So it's lefty versus lefty. And a 6 is a pop-up to the shortstop. So I'm using the Stra-O-Matic PC game to keep track of my data and input the stats. Now, this is a very slow process, so just bear with me. So Eddie Milner pops up for the first out of the game. Next is Ron Oster. He's a switch hitter, batting from the right side. And that's going to be a 5, a right-handed batter. And a 4 is a fly ball X center fielder. The good thing is on the screen, you see the ratings. So Lonnie Smith in center field is a 4. And we rolled an 8. Center fielder is right here. A 4 and an 8 is a ball that drops in front of Lonnie Smith. Did not get a good jump on that. Kind of misread it off the bat. And Oster's on with a single. All right, so it's let's check out Oster's ability to steal. He's a D base stealer. Dave Concepcion is up. Now, all I have with these is an advance, so I'm not rolling the 20-sided die unless it asks for it. So there's no super advance. I prefer super advance, and I know they make it, and I had it at one point. I don't have it anymore. I have too many sets. We have the crazy Pulsation Nation Sports Time Machine in the house. And this thing drives me nuts when it starts pulsating like that. I hate that. All right, let's see. Adjust it a little bit. Still pulsating. Let's remove some issues here. There we go. That adjusted a little bit. That helped it out. Okay, so the lighting may have something to do with it. I just learned that. All right, here goes. Dave Concepcion. And a 3 against a lefty is a 5, and that's ball 4. So Concepcion trots down through first base, and that moves Oster into scoring position, first and second now. Johnny Bench. Check out this card. This is the issue that I'm going to have with this card. It's signed. Just look what it says. It says Johnny Bench. How cool is that, right? Again, it's acting up a little bit. Let's see if we can get a little closer. It'll behave. All right, there it goes. So John Martin is going to face the righty Johnny Bench, and Johnny Bench has his card all written on. All right, it's going to be a 4. So that's off the pitcher against a righty. And we rolled a 4, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. The shortstop is Smith, and it looks like that says, hard to read because sometimes the letters overlap, and I don't know how I can move that. I can't slide it over or anything. Okay. Wait a second. There's also letters up here. If I go to home team, let me click on his card, Ozzie Smith. Let's see if I have his information here. Ratings. No, ratings doesn't give me that. Notes, stats. I don't get what I need. Okay, so I'm going to have to look at this card in this case. So Ozzie Smith is a 1E16. There it is. A 1E16. We rolled I believe we rolled an 8, right? I'm not sure what we rolled. Did we roll already? I don't know that we did. I think that 8 was from before. A 20 on a 1. E16, well, we don't need the E16. The 20 is a ground ball to the shortstop. He flips to the second baseman, flips to Tommy Herr, and the throw to first, scooped by Hernandez. So it's a 6-4-3 double play, and that retires the side. So it's a ground out, and now we got to go through all these steps. So Johnny Bench grounds into a double play. Johnny Bench is out. Then Concepcion is out. And then, of course, next batter goes to third, and then it says fielders. Fielders are 6, 4, and 3. Wow, I had to hit all that to do that. All right. So I guess the card wasn't an issue, so that's good. And now up is going to be Lonnie Smith leading it off against Frank Pastore. I'll tell you a little bit about Frank Pastore in 1982. Frank Pastore was 8-13 with a 3.97 ERA. See how far he can go in this game. I'm not one to remove the pitchers very quickly. I'd like to take my time. Who's in the house? Salvador America's in the house. Frank Pastore is a right-hander facing Lonnie Smith, a righty. Here's the pitch. That's a 6 off the pitcher, and a 6 is a ground ball shortstop X. Concepcion is a 1. We roll an 18, and he scoops it and throw to first, and in time. 1 up, 1 down. Concepcion read that grounder perfectly. Took a tough hop. All right, Ozzie Smith. And a 1, a 3 is going to be a ground ball, third base, pulled down the line, and backhanded by Bench, who's playing third base today. Long throw to first in time. So Johnny Bench makes a nice play at third base at a position that is not really his primary position. But later on, they were already kind of pushing him out. So John Bench from third base throws out the speedy Ozzie Smith, 5-3. Let me go into the defense. It's going to be Bench at third, Concepcion at short. At second is Oster, and at first is Dreesen. Behind the plate is Trevino. From left to right in the outfield for the Reds is Vail, Milner, and Householder. The lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals is Lonnie Smith in center, Ozzie Smith. At short, batting third is Keith Hernandez. In the cleanup spot is George Hendrick. Batting fifth is Dane Org. The left fielder. Batting sixth is the catcher Darrell Porter. Then it's batting seventh, Ken Oberkfell, the third baseman. Batting eighth is Tommy Herr, the second baseman. And then John Martin, the pitcher, is batting ninth. There we go. All right, so here's the pitch to Keith Hernandez. That's a 5 against a lefty, right? And a 10 is a fly ball center field X. Milner's a 2 out there. And we roll a 2, and that may drop in front of Miller. He's racing in, and it does. And he plays it on a hop, so Keith Hernandez is on with a 2-out single. Little flare that kind of saw the center fielder hesitate a bit, and then came on strong, but just didn't want to risk it getting by him. So it's going to be a base knock for Hernandez, who's on at first base now. Next is George Hendrick with good power. Here's the pitch from Frank Pastore. It's a 1 and a 7, and a 7 is strike 3, and Pastore blows one by Hendrick, who's swinging for the fences, and that retires the side. So that's 1 inning of play. So yesterday was my Cold War baseball. Yesterday and today became my Cold War baseball days to play. Older games that are in my tabletop baseball museum. I pulled these out. So Mike Vail, the right-handed hitter, he was a Met at one time against John Martin, the lefty. Here's the pitch, and that is a 1. And a 10 is going to be a fly ball left field or towards the line. Under it, squeezes it for the out. So I guess I'm going to make Sundays and Mondays those days where I play those old school games, and then I go more modern the rest of the week. Larry Harris. Aha, there you go. So Larry Harris tells us that Johnny Bench played third base mostly in 1982. Very cool. Dan Dreesen. Lefty versus lefty. And we got a 3. And then a 7 is a split die. 1 to 13 is a single, and that's line and caught by Tommy Herr, who timed his leap perfectly. Hit right on the screws, but right at Herr. And Herr timed it, went up there, and brought it back down for the second out. And that's going to be an L4 if you're scoring at home, which I recommend you do. You don't want to miss any of the action. It's going to be Paul Householder. I was going to say Horseholder. He's a switch hitter batting righty. And that is a 3 versus the lefty. Tires aside. We go to the bottom of the second. Now what I do is for the pitchers who, if you see, they're on top, so I'm touching them most often, I'll grab these sleeves to protect them, and I'll pop Frank Pastore into a sleeve. So pitchers, usually the starting pitchers in particular, are going to get sleeves. Now, I'm playing with the Cardinals all the time, so little by little, for guys who have, played most of the time, I will put them into sleeves as well, just to protect them, because I'm playing them on a daily basis, whereas the other teams I just touch, from time to time. All right, so bottom of the second, there's no score. Both teams have a hit, and it's Dane Org. That's a 5. He's a lefty, so we're going to go against left-handed batter, and an 8. We rolled an 8. That's fly ball center field. Milner to his left. Squeezes it for the out. Fly ball, F8. 1 up, 1 down. Next batter is Darryl Porter. I remember him with the Royals. That's a 3 versus a righty. And a 5 is ball 4. So Porter manages a walk. Shows some patience at the plate, which he tends to do. Not reckless when when in the box, he kind of is thoughtful about the whole thing. Ken Obergfell with Porter on at first. Porter will not be stealing. And Kenny Obergfell, I will not do a. He's you know what? We're going to try a hit and run. And that's a 9. He's a hit and run B. So hit and run B on a 9 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Batter is safe. Leading runner is out. Other runners advance one base. Oh, boy. Okay, that's not what I wanted, but. So the batter is safe. So it's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice. So even with Porter on the go, it was still a fielder's choice. And they got Porter at second base. 6-4. And that's a 9, a B, a 9 says, yeah, ground ball, batter is safe. Lead runner is out. Not what I wanted to see, my friends. And I got to look at these charts. I'm not used to these charts. I got to double check until I get comfortable with them. All right. So Kenny Obergfell is on at first with 2 outs, and it's Tommy Herr, switch hitter, batting from the left side. And that is a 3 versus a righty, and an 8 is a ground ball to Oster, who flips to Concepcion for the 3rd out. Go to the top of the 3rd, no score. You guys remember me playing the 79 Mets, but that was not fun. Lost almost 110 games. After that, I decided, you know what? I'm never going to play teams that lose so many games because it was just very painful. John Martin versus Alex Trevino, 1 versus a lefty and a 10, and that's a ground ball comebacker. Martin has got it over to first and in time. 1-3, ground out. All right. Now it's Frank Pastore. Pastore is, let's see what it says about his batting. Get this light over here. He's a 2 righty. Pitching card 2, and we got one of those right here. Let's roll. That's a 3, column 3, and a 9, and that's a chop to the first baseman Hernandez, who's going to take it himself for out number 2. 3 and assisted. I just have that on the side. Now it's Eddie Milner, left-handed batter. And again, a 3. And a 5 is going to be a ground ball, second base. And that is going to be Herr over to Hernandez. And that retires the side. All right, we go to the top of the bottom of the 3rd. Frank Pastore climbs on the mound. He's going to face Lonnie Smith. 1982, Cold War baseball, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Civil Rights Movement, the space race. Frank Pastore versus Martin. Martin is a 2. What is that? I know he's a 1S. So that means a 1 switch hitter. So we're going to get this side of the card. And it's a 3 and a 5, and that's hit hard right at the shortstop Concepcion. Scoops it and fires the first, and in time for the first out. 6-3. All right. Oh, wait. Lonnie Smith. Pitch from Pastore. That's a 1 and a 6. Oh, that's a split die triple. 1 to 10's a triple, and that's going to be pulled down the line and cut off quickly by Vail, who's going to get it in, and big turnaround first for Smith. Had that gotten by Vail, it would have been an easy triple, but the hustle in left field by Mike Vail, the ex-Met, keeps Lonnie Smith at first base. Now, Lonnie Smith is a double-A base stealer, and I just use the computer to gauge everything. All right, let's see. So I'm going to steal a base. It tells me safe chance is 75%. Get lead, 61%. Out trying, 0%. Steal a second base. Okay, attempt steal. Offense has choice. Okay, let's attempt to steal. Let's see what happens. Now it says safe chance, 75%. Catcher error, 10%. Throw for runner. I'm going to throw for runner. See what happens. There he goes, and he is safe under the tag. Nice throw by Trevino. Unloaded that pitch, that ball, and a little bit high. But Lonnie Smith had a great jump on that. So Lonnie Smith steals second. Now it's Ozzie Smith with 1 out. There's a pitch that's a 6 to a lefty. Ozzie Smith is switch hitter batting lefty. And a 3 is a fly ball right field X. Holder is a 2 out there. That's an 11. An 11 may force a check. He's an 11 E3. An 11 does force a check, so we're looking at E3 here. And that's a 5 on an E3, and a 5 is going to be a ball that's lined into the gap, and Householder on the run and is going to get there. Then it becomes a B fly ball, and a B fly ball says runner on third base scores, others hold. All right. So a nice play by Householder in right field for the second out. And it's Keith Hernandez. Probably the most dangerous hitter, pound for pound, that the St. Louis Cardinals have on their team, I would have to say. 1979 co-MVP. Keith Hernandez bats from the left side, facing Frank Pastore. With 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch. That's a 3. That's going to be off of Hernandez, and that is a walk column for him, and a 7 is going to be ball 4. So Hernandez trots down to first. That's going to put runners on first and second with 2 outs for big power hitting outfielder George Hendrick. Pastore looks in for the sign, sets and deals, and it's a 5 against a righty. That's off the pitcher's card, and a 10 is going to be a fly ball center field. Back goes Milner to the track and runs it down. That retires the side. It's going to be an F8. And that's going to be the inning. We go to the top of the 4th. Ron Oster, lefty on lefty. Here goes. That's a 2 versus a lefty. And a 7 is line base hit. Left field, Ron Oster. Org plays it on a hop. And Oster won't be stealing. He is a D base stealer, so he won't be stealing. Dave Concepcion against a left-hander. Let's see if he has a lot of strikeouts. Not really. All right, here we go. We're going to try a hit and run again, and that's going to be an 11. Concepcion is a C hit and run. So a C hit and run, and we roll an 11. It's going to be a batter misses pitch, roll 20-sided die for steal results. Uh-oh. That's not good. Just my luck. All right. Attempt steal. Yes. There he goes. And he is out. No chance. Dave Concepcion seems to have missed the sign. And Oster gets thrown out at second base. It was a dead duck. Concepcion still at the plate with one out now. And it's going to be a 2 versus the lefty. And a 6 is a 1-16. Split die is a single, and that is line and caught by Ozzie Smith at shortstop for out number 2. L6. Johnny Bench. I have Johnny Bench signature right here. He's in a lot of commercials. If you watch MLB.com, he's in a lot of those commercials. He could hold 6 baseballs. Right? He's known for holding 7 baseballs in one hand. And in the commercial, he pulls out 7 burgers in one hand. I don't know, 6 or 7 baseballs. That's a lot of baseballs. All right, Johnny Bench against the lefty John Martin. Here's the pitch. That's a 4. That's off Martin. And a 5 is going to be a fly ball, left field. Org into left center. Makes the catch for out number 3. Top of the bottom of the 4th. This game is moving along. No hits. Very few hits. Very few base runners. And when that happens, you know that games move along. Here's the pitch from Pastore to Dane Org. It's going to be Org, Porter, and Obergefell. That's a 2. A 2 and a 9, and that's chopped to second baseman Oster, who waits back, now charges, whips it sidearm to Dreesen at first for out number 1. It'll be 4-3. Darryl Porter, pitch from Pastore, and that is going to be a 2. A 2 and a 4 is a fly ball, right field. Householder and Milner converging. Householder takes it. F9 for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Ken Obergefell, 2 outs. It's a 6. That's going to be off the pitcher. He's a lefty. And an 8 is going to be a split die, 1-4 triple. Otherwise, it's a single. And that's pulled down the line into the right field corner. Householder misplays it, rolls away from him. Hustling around second is Obergefell. Here's the relay, and he is safe at third base with a 2-out triple. Stroke that down the line, and Householder kind of misplayed it. Took a funky bounce off the wall. And with 2 outs, we have a runner at third base now. Triple for Obergefell. Next is Tommy Hurt, switch hitter, batting from the left side. Here's the pitch. And it's a 3 and a 7, and that is line center field, and Milner's right there for the 3rd out. Line out center field. And that retires the side. Go to the top of the 5th. This is a classic set that I pulled out of the Tabletop Baseball Museum. I call it the Lost in Space Museum, early 60s show that I watched. Was in love with those girls when I was a kid. Mike Vale, the young girls, very pretty young girls. Penny, I think, was one of them, and I can't remember the other one. The blonde. Oh, man. I was in love with her. Martin against Mike Vale, righty. That's a 6. And an 8 is a split die. 1 is a single. A 12, that's line caught by the second baseman, Tommy Hurt. A lot of line drives in this game. All right. Next is Dan Dreesen, another lefty. and that's a 6 this time. And an 8 is ball 4. So Dreesen walks. Dreesen is a B base stealer. Let's see. Held 40%, so he's not a very good base stealer. We're not going to try to run with him. All right, Householder. Here goes. 1 out. Pitch from Martin. It's a 5. He's batting from the right side. It's a 5 and a 6, and that's going to be a ground ball second base X. A 20 to Tommy Herr, who's a 2. And that's going to be a ball that Tommy Herr gets to, tosses to Smith, throw to first in time for a 4-6-3 double play. And that will retire the side. So the Cardinals have a very top-notch defense. They make a lot of double plays. So it's a 4-6-3 double play. And that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 5th. I will let these pitchers go for a while. I like my starters to get a few innings in. Martin. Wait a second. No. Who's Martin is up? The pitcher, Martin. Okay. Let's see what happens. And it's a 4, so we don't need that. But Martin was, what did I say he was? He is a switch hitter. So he's batting from the left side. So a lefty batter. And a 7 is line base hit, center field. So the pitcher, John Martin, singles. It's on at first. Lonnie Smith is next. He's a B bunter. We're going to try to bunt. And they call it a sacrifice. That's a 12. That batter pops up into a double play. Lead runner is thrown out at first base. So Trevino picks one out of the air and guns it to first base to get Martin for the double play. Epic fail for Lonnie Smith on that bunt. It's a pop out. I guess it would be a double play and out. And it's going to be a 2-3. So now it's Ozzie Smith. It's a 3 versus the righty, and a 3 is going to be a ball that's driven over the center fielder's head, and Ozzie Smith, Milner, gets a nice bounce, and right to him, Ozzie Smith, big turnaround second, changes his mind, goes back to second, and the throw to second, not in time. He's in there with a 2-out double. Almost got him at second base. The throw was off the bag. Had it not been for that, they would have had him. He took a big turn going for 3. So it's Keith Hernandez, again, probably the most dangerous hitter on the Cardinals. With the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 5th at second base, the speedy Smith. Here's the pitch. That's a 6 against a lefty. And an 8 is going to be a split die. And that ball falls in front of Milner in center field, and Smith comes around to score. The Cardinals are up 1-0. Keith Hernandez, Clutch Hernandez, is his new nickname. So the double and the single here with 2 outs put the Cardinals ahead 1-0. Frank Pastore wishes he had that pitch back. George Hendrick, aha. Barbara. Oh, could be. All right, so Hernandez on at first. Hendrick, the pitch from Pastore, and that is a 5 against a righty. And an 11 is a fly ball. Left field X. Vail is a 4 out there. And that's an 8. That's going to force us to check, I believe. That is going to force a check. And Vail is an E4. And that's an 11 on an E4. And that is going to be a ball that goes off of Vail's glove. Line drive that mishandled by Vail. And that's going to be a 2-base error into second base. Stopping at third is Hernandez, and into second base on that 2-base error by the left fielder, Mike Vail. So we got second and third with 2 outs. The inning has been extended because of the error, so any future runs that are scored in this inning are going to be unearned. And it's going to be Dane Org against Frank Pastore. And that's going to be a 4 versus the lefty. And a 7 is line base hit center field. That's going to score at least 1. Scores Hernandez. Now Hendrick, I have to count, he's a -2 in center field. And Hendrick running is a 14. That's a 12. There's 2 outs. I think that's a 1. So I'm going to try to score. I'm going to try to score both runners on the single by Dane Org to the, let's see, what was it? A 4-7 single to center. And a 20. He is out. I think isn't that 20 mean that he's out? I thought that's what it meant. Or he's automatically safe. I don't know. I know on a stolen base on a 20, he's automatically out. So, oh no, he's out because that's above his rating. That's it. So he's out. 8-2. So let's figure all this out now. We got to put, so the play result is a single. 1 run scores, and the next one is going to be out. And it goes to first. Hendrick at second is going to be out. It doesn't give me where to write. Weird. Hold on a second. See what happens. It didn't give me a chance to write in the outfielder assist. Does this game not allow you to do that? I don't know. So Dane Org lines one to center field with 2 outs and runners on second and third. So the play result is a single. So Org goes to first. Hendrick, Hernandez scores. Hendrick is going to be out at the plate, and it doesn't allow you to write that in. Okay, I really don't care, to be honest with you. That's fine. So the Cardinals pick up 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. They lead at 2-0. Frank Pastore is a point of weakness is the 6th inning. Hasn't reached that yet. We're going to the top of the 6th. Alex Trevino, 5, against a righty. And an 8 is a fly ball to Hendrick in right. Moves towards the line, settles under it, puts it away. 1 up, 1 down. Eddie, now it's a pitcher spot, and we're going to allow the pitch only 2-0, so we're going to allow the pitcher to bat. We roll a 3 and a 4 as a ground ball comebacker to Martin. Fields his position. Throws out Pastore. 1-3. Eddie Milner up now with 2 outs. Pitch from John Martin. That's a 2 against a lefty, and a 6 is going to be popped up right side. Keith Hernandez over towards the seats, reaches in. Oh, nice catch. Knocked somebody's popcorn and beer over, but held on to the ball. Great catch by our first baseman, Keith Hernandez. Now a Mets announcer, color commentator, announcer, and that's a third out. Go to the bottom of the sixth. Frank Pastore is still on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. 1982 replay, game 31. Don't know the exact standings, but I will post them. The Cardinals did not get off to a good start. I struggled getting to know the team. Pastore against Darryl Porter. Here's the pitch. That's a 4 versus a lefty. And a 4 is going to be a catcher X. We roll a 10. The catcher is a 3. And the 10 says, we're going to check for an error. Error rating is an E8. E8, and we roll a 7. And that is going to be a ball, that little number in front of the plate. Trevino grabs onto it, fires the first, and in time to get Porter. Nice play by Trevino. Had trouble getting out of his glove. 2-3 for out number 1. Next is Ken Oberkfell. That's a 6. And Oberkfell's a lefty. That's going to be a 4, and that's a fly ball left field. Backing up is Vale, on the track, makes the catch. Fly out. F7. 2 away. So Oberkfell took that outside pitch and took it the other way. Tommy Herr, switch hitter, batting from the left side against Pastore. That's a 1 against a righty. And a 4 is driven in the gap. Is that going to get cut off? And it is. Gets cut off nicely by Milner, who's going to keep Tommy Herr to a single. It's a split die, 1-8. It was a double. One thing I really like about Stra-O-Matic is that every card is different. Like, I never really know absolutely what is it going to be, a hit, is it going to be a walk, is it going to be an out. I know there's some numbers tend to be something, but it's not always in the same column, so you really don't know. And that's one thing that really attracted me to Stra-O-Matic from APBA. Although APBA has, I'm not sure if they have that in the Master Game, but I've looked at the Master Game boards a few times and I've gotten, nauseous and dizzy. I've had to take some Dramamine to alleviate the symptoms of that, and I oppose them. Okay, so here goes. He's a 1. Martin is a 1. I don't know if I looked at the 1 before, but I'm looking at the 1 now. Tommy Herr's on at first base. Here's the pitch, and that's a 3. And a 9 is a ground ball to the third baseman. Bench scoops it, throw to first, high throw, but nice stretch by Dreesen, and that retires the side. Ground ball, 5-3. Goes to out at first. You got to go right. Everything that every player does. It's going to be 5-3. Yeah, this system is not like replay baseball. But anyway, we're not playing replay baseball right now. So. All right, it's going to be Martin on the mound in the top of the 7th against Oster. Here's the pitch to Ronnie Oster. That's a 5. He's going to be batting righty. It's a righty, so that's a 5, and an 8 is a fly ball right field. Can of corn for Hendrick. 1 up, 1 down. Dave Concepcion is next. Pitch from John Martin. That's a 3 against a lefty. And an 8 is a pop-up. Right side, Tommy Hernandez converge. Herr calls him off. Ball, ball, ball. And there you can hear him. I played some high school baseball in Queens, New York at Bryant High School. still remember my coach, Racanelli was his name. Coach Racanelli. Played catcher. Johnny Bench against John Martin with 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. That's a 4. 4 versus a righty. And a 7 is line and caught by the shortstop. Smith. Ozzie Smith, the Wizard of Oz, does a triple somersault after catching that ball. And we're going to the bottom of the 7th. Johnny Bench is 0 for 3. What a great player. I even have Tommy Seaver in this set. Tommy Seaver is with the Reds. Lonnie Smith should be up. Where is Lonnie Smith? There it goes. That's a 5. Lonnie Smith is a righty. And a 7, and that's line base hit. Lonnie Smith is on with a single, and he's always a threat to steal. He may go. I'll tell you right now, he's probably going. We're up 2-0. 75% chance. Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on, there he goes. Attempt steal. And throw down is throw for runner, and he is safe. Wow. All right, throw was a little high, and Smith with a nice hook slide got in there. So now it's Ozzie Smith. There's a pitch. It's a 4 versus Smith batting lefty. And a 5 is going to be a ground ball second base. Hers a 2. That's a 17. 217, and that's a ball that Tommy Hurt gets to. And moving to third base is Smith. So it's a ground ball out. Goes to third. It's going to be a 4-3 put out. So 1 out, runner on third base. So Ozzie Smith did his job. Moved him over. That's the type of baseball I like to see. Old school fundamental baseball. Keith Hernandez. I don't know. Do we walk Keith Hernandez here and face to George Hendrick? Decisions. Let's see. Position, infield in. Intentionally walk the batter. And then position, infield in. Or which hold, which no. Cancel. Position, infield in. Set infield back. Bring infield in. We're going to bring the infield in. 2-0. Bottom of the 7th. George Hendrick with runners on first and third. Here's a pitch. That's a 5 against a righty batter. And a 5 is going to be a fly ball, right field C. I don't know what that C means. That C means that runners hold. It's a fly, shallow fly ball to the right fielder, householder, and they're going to respect his arm out there. Nobody's moving. Fly ball, right field, and that's a second out. And now it's a lefty, Dane Org. First and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. The Cardinals are up 2-0. Pretty good game here. Here's a pitch from Pastore. See if he can get out of this jam. That's a 2 against a righty. And an 8 is line. Base hit center field. And that is going to score Smith. Hernandez is going to stop at Hernandez at 12 of 14. Minus 2 is a 12. It was, yeah, he's going to just stop there. I don't want to deal with all those calculations. RBI single by Dane Org. And it's 3-0 Cardinals. And it was a 2 and an 8. 8 is like the only number on that whole column that was a hit. Look at that. Hit the center field. Wow. Crazy. Darryl Porter, first and second. Pitch from Pastore. 5 against a lefty. And a 5 is a ground ball shortstop. Concepcion's a 1, 18. It's a ball up the middle that Concepcion's after, gets there, spins, throw to first, and in time for the out. 18 on a 1. Great play by Concepcion to catch up to that ball. Looked like it was going to be through. And that, my friend, retires the side. Ground ball goes to third. The runner at first goes to second. The runner, Porter at bat is out. Runner, blah, 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 stays on his base. Who cares? And then it's going to be 6-3. Great play by Concepcion. And that retires the side, but the Cardinals pick up another run. It's going to be Vail coming up to bat. Taking my time with Stra-O-Matic, because Stra-O-Matic, hey, Al, Red Sox fan in the house. Stra-O-Matic is one of those games. I got the crazy pulsation going. Pulsation Nation. I got, Strat is one of those games that you got to go up and down, cross, this way, this way, this way, that way, that way, that way. It's like a crisscross game. And that drives me, my brain is consumed by that. So I got to really take my time and play in first gear. It's like driving on a bumpy road. I know as a kid, my family we lived in a ranch. We're from Spain, and the roads were unpaved, and there were bumpy roads, and you had to really slow down unless you wanted to really damage your car. So that's what Stra-O-Matic is a little bit like that for me. It's not, I don't play it a lot, so I'm a little unsure. Mike Vail, a righty, versus John Martin, a lefty. Here's a pitch. It's a 1 against a lefty. And a 9 is going to be a ground ball and through the left side for a base hit. So Vail is on at first with a single. 1-9er. Dan Dreesen. Pitch is a 6 against another lefty. And that's a 9. And that's ball 4. So first 2 runners get on. Now there's action in the Cardinal bullpen. It's a 6 and a 9 is a walk. And it's going to bring up Householder. Here's the pitch from Martin. That's a 4. He's a switch hitter batting righty. So a 4 and a 6 is popped up right side. And that's Hernandez over there. Makes the catch in foul ground. 1 away. Alex Trevino next. Here's the pitch to Alex, switch hitter batting. Oh, no, he's a right-handed hitter. That's a 2 against a lefty. A 2 and a 10 is a fly ball left field. Racing in is Hendrick. And he makes the catch. F9. Oh, no, wait a second. That's the Org out there. It was a ball to left field. 210 is a fly ball to left. And that's a fly out. Left field. Dane Org is out there. Makes the catch. And now it's going to be the pitcher. So we're going to get a pinch hitter. Let's see who they were pinch hitting at this time. You don't really know. I'm going to take a quick peek at the box score for that game. Pinch hitters, Hurdle was on this team. I don't know if I have Hurdle in my deck. These are all my pitchers, and these are all my hitters. I have 2 Krennicki cards, or Krenchicki cards. Landestoy, Bittner, Dave Van Gorder, Tom Wallace, and Dwayne Walker. Let's see the next day. Let's see who pitches the next, who plays in the next game. I kind of want to use the guys who actually played. during this series, just to Landistoi and Barranca. Ramon Barranca and Landistoi. All right, so I think I saw Landistoi. I don't know that I saw Barranca. Rafael Landistoi is there. So I could pinch hit him right here. He's a switch hitter. And then who are we going to bring in? We've got Bob Shirley. We've got Leibrandt, Charlie Leibrandt. So Leibrandt is there. So that's one I can bring in. And Bob Shirley is there as well. So I got both of those guys. And then Bob Shirley is a lefty and Leibrandt. Oh, they're both lefties. All right. So it is what it is. Okay, so let's go back to the stream. Make sure everything's in order there. Where things tend to happen. Okay. So it's Rafael Landistoi who's going to bat for the visiting team. And that's it for Pastore for today. All right, here's the pitch from John Martin. With runners on first and second and 2 out. It's a 1 against a lefty. And a 5 is going to be a deep drive, which would potentially be a pinch hit home run to tie the game on a split die 1-10. 1-10, that ball is out of here. 11-20 is off the top of the wall, and it should score 2. Let's see if it does. 1-5 against the lefty. It's a left-handed pitcher. And we'll see what, no, it's going to just be 2. Yeah, it may be able to score Dreesen. We'll see what happens. That ball is a deep drive to center field. Back goes Smith to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 3-3 pinch hit home run by Rafael Landistoi. Holy smokes. Landistoi hit 1 home run in 100 at-bats and does it here in a pinch hitting role. That's the only home run on his card. And it has to be versus a lefty. He's a W. He's a W against righties. And an N power, normal power against lefties. How funny is that? Wow. Game is tied. Rafael Landistoi. And he's getting mobbed in the dugout. The game is now tied. And John Martin, the PC game tells me that John Martin is tired. Sure as heck is. That would tire me out too. Eddie Milner. Wow. All right. Eddie Milner's up. 2 outs. 3-3. It's a 5. All right. Against a lefty. A 5 against a lefty is a 3. That's a ground ball comebacker to Martin. Fields it. Throws out Milner, and that retires the side, but not before the Cincinnati Reds score 3 big runs on a 3-run pinch hit home run by Rafael Landistoi. Wow, that is funny. That is a trip. Okay. John Martin wishes he had that pitch back. Victimized by a player who's not really known as a power hitter. Game is tied. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We need a new pitcher. And who do we say it was going to be? It was going to be Bob Shirley. Who's going to be up? Let's check and see who's going to be up. Lefty. Yeah, we're going to bring Shirley in. Bob Shirley's coming in. And let me take a quick peek at who the Cincinnati Reds closer was. Wasn't Seaver. Jim Kern had. Doesn't say the saves. Oh, that's the right. I now remember. It doesn't say the saves, so I would not know. Greg Harris, Joe Price, Tom Hume. Yeah. Oh, man, I hate that. All right, let me check the stats. Let me quickly look at the Cincinnati stats, the Reds 82 stats. Reds 82 stats. And let me see. And it'll show me who their closer is. So then I know to bring that guy in for the 9th inning. I don't want to cheat them. Wow, Greg Harris. Brad 80. Wow, I don't see anybody with really any saves on this team. Holy smoke. Oh, save 17. Tom Hume. Okay, there he is. Tom Hume, 17 saves. Okay, that's their closer. Should write that on the cards, but I don't want to write on the cards. All right, so I'm sure you try to see to get him to go an inning. Here's the pitch to Oberfeld. That's a 6 against a lefty. And an 8 is a ball 4. So go ahead run is on base just like that. Here come the Cardinals. Oberfeld not a base stealer. Tommy Herr is next. And are we gonna bunt? No, we're not gonna bunt. I'm not a really big bunter. I'm like Joe Madden. Joe Madden's school of thought. It's gonna be a 3 versus a lefty. 3 versus a left-handed pitcher, and a 10 is going to be popped up. Middle of the infield, Concepcion calling for it. He's there. Makes the catch. Jay Martin, the pitcher, and he's going to be pinch hit for. And who are the Cardinals using as pinch hitters? That's pretty easy. I saw Gene Tennis, and I always use whenever I have a team that has Gene Tennis. Guess what? I'm using Gene Tennis because I love Gene Tennis. I don't know why. Just love him. I think he's very cool. He was an MVP, World Series MVP in '72. Caught one of the best pitching staffs in history. Was on a dynasty from '72 to '74. Won 3 World Series. All right. So we're going to get a pinch hitter. It's going to be Gene Tennis coming in. No, I want to do that. Home team. Gene Tennis for Martin. So Martin's night is over. Here's a pitch. And it's a 6 versus a lefty. Well, no, it's a 6 on the pitcher versus a righty. And then it's an 8, and that's going to be a split die double single. Oh, and a 2 is pulled down the line. It's a left field corner, and Oberfeld is going to cruise into third base, and Tennis with a stand-up double. Vale gets it in. Wow, pinch hit double by Gene Tennis, just like that. Lines one over the head of Concepcion, actually over Bench's head, into the corner in left field, and Vale got it in quickly to Concepcion, and then they're going to hold up with nobody out. They decide, oh, wait, 1 out. They decided they were going to hold up Oberfeld at third base. So that was fun. Pinch hit double by our boy, Gene Tennis. Second and third now. And it's going to be Lonnie Smith. And there's 1 out in the You know what? We're going to bring in Hume. Let's check Hume out. Let's check out Hume's card. We got a righty here. I will bring a player for a 5-out save right here. Yeah, we're going to bring him for a 5-out save. Hume is going to come in. Just make sure he doesn't bat next. No. Okay. So we're all good. So Hume's going to come in to pitch. Tom Hume. And this is a player where I will protect with a sleeve. I will protect Hume with a sleeve because he is their closer. And so this is a guy that, you may bring in 2 or 3 nights in a row. So I'm going to protect him right off the bat. And when I sell these cards, if I ever sell these cards, I will sell them with the sleeves, nicely protected with the sleeves. So there's 1 out, runners on second and third, and it's going to be the infield's going to be in. So we're going to do that on the game, on the PC game. Infield, bring infield in. You got to go stop that run at home. All right, here goes. Lonnie Smith against Tom Hume. I don't know that we brought in Hume yet. There, he's in there now. All right. Tom Hume, Lonnie Smith. Infield's in. 3-3. Bottom of the 8th. Here's a pitch. It's a 6 against a righty. And a 7 is going to be popped up. Left side. Bench and foul ground. Back into fair ground. Makes the catch. Huge out for Tom Hume. Top 5. You're scoring at home. And this brings in up Ozzie Smith. Switch hitter batting lefty. Hume looks in for the sign. Runners on second and third. 2 outs. 3-3. The score. Here's a pitch. That's a 6 against a lefty. And then a 3 is going to be a ground ball pitcher X. The pitcher is a 2, automatic 2, I think, in these older sets. Automatic 2. And let's roll. We're going to roll this one here. It's a 1, and that's a ground ball and through up the middle for a base hit. And that's going to score Obergefell, and the Cardinals have the lead, 4-3. Wow. Little comebacker that Hume totally missed and went right by him and up the middle into center field for a base hit. But Milner played it quickly, and Tennis, who is not known as a speed demon, had to hold at third. But it is going to be an RBI single. We did roll a 1. Holy smokes. Just not meant to be so far for the Cincinnati Reds. Now it's Keith Hernandez, who's been walked already. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Against Tom Hume, first and third, 2 outs. 4-3 Cardinals. Here's the pitch. And that is a 2 against a righty and a 6. And that is going to be laced for a single base hit. That's going to score Tennis and send Smith to third base. RBI single for Keith Hernandez. 5-3 Cardinals. So that was a 2 against a righty, and a 6 is a split die. 1-3. We roll a 6. It's going to be a single. Runners advance 2 bases, double star. And it's George Hendrick, first and third. Here's the pitch from Tom Hume. It's a 4. 4 against a righty, and a 5 is going to be lined and caught by Oster, and that retires the side. That was a blast. All right, so a 2-out rally by the Cardinals, and they lead it 5-3 going into the top of the 9th. Cardinals going to bring in their closer. It's going to be where is he? Bruce Sutter. Exactly. Yep. There he is, Bruce Sutter. Wow. Blast from the past. Top of the ninth, 5-3. Can Bruce Sutter close it out? Big comeback by the Cardinals after losing the lead on that 3-run home run. Pinch hit home run by Rafael Landeskog. 5-3 Cardinals. Ron Oster leading it off. Where is Ron Oster? Hold on a second. There he is. All right, we'll play this by ear. There you go. Ron Oster against Bruce Sutter. Let's get Sutter. Sutter's in there. All right, here goes. Here's the pitch from Sutter. That's a 6 against a switch hitter batting lefty. And a 9 is going to be fly ball right field. Hendrick settles under it. 1 up, 1 down. 2 outs away from victory. Dave Concepcion is next. Pitch from Bruce Sutter. And that's going to be a 4 versus a righty. And a 7, that is split die, ground ball, and through for a base hit into left field. One out, 1 on. Johnny Bench. Got all these mixed up. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened. Wait a second. It's Bench and Vale and Dreesen. Okay, there. Bench, Vale, Dreesen. Oster. I don't know. Trevino. Johnny Bench with his signature card. Wow. I wonder if you can get a hold of one here with the signature card. Bruce Sutter checks in for the sign. Looks Concepcion. Now sets and deals. That's a 5 against a righty. And a 9er, and that is a ground ball to shortstop. Shortstop is a 1. We roll a 5. This may be a double play. So it's a ball in the hole. Smith gets to it, and to second for her, back to first for Hernandez, and that's a 6-4-3 double play, ball game over. So the Cardinals manage a real tough double play with a ball hitting the hole, but Ozzie Smith, beautiful throw to second for her, and great relay to first for Hernandez. 6-4-3 double play, and that's a second double play that Johnny Bench has hit into. He's had a tough day. That 9 is a ground ball shortstop X. And with Ozzie Smith, who's a 1 out there, he got to that. And that's the ball game. So the Cardinals win it. And he's out. It's going to be 6-4-3. And ball game's over. So the line score is the Reds 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. The Cardinals 5 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. Wow, they sure had a lot of hits, the Cardinals did. For only 5 runs, they had almost 3 times the hits that the Reds had. The Reds just made their hits count. And we're going to take a look at the box score, see if anything really stands out. Stra-O-Matic Cold War Baseball presents Stra-O-Matic 1982 St. Louis Cardinals replay. Game 31. The Cardinals win it. I like Stra-O-Matic. They call their teams the Stockings. The Red Sox are the Stockings. And then the Cardinals are the Redbirds. They're afraid of like using the real names because they may get sued. So it's going to be Lonnie Smith had 2 hits. Ozzie Smith had 2 hits. Keith Hernandez had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Muscle that single up the middle for an RBI there in the bottom of the 8th. He's raised his average to 301. Then Dane Org went 2 for 4, batting at 262. Ozzie Smith's batting at 182. Yeah. So when you tell me that, there's no anomalies in games. It's like he batted 250 and he's batted 70 points below his actual average. That may change. There's only 31 games. He's probably got 100 at bats. That'll come up. But there's always anomalies no matter what game you play. It's the nature of the beast. So I don't worry about that. I just have fun with the games. And I do like, smooth, streamlined mechanics. I don't like a lot of chart lookups. I don't like a lot of clumsiness and clunkiness. I don't like that, and I will make comments about that. So, excuse me. Sorry. This is CP Cards and Dicing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody who came by. I know it was a kind of long one. It was an hour and almost 20 minutes. And I played at a kind of a very, very conservative pace since I'm not a big Stra-O-Matic player. I don't play it all the time. I have lots of seasons, and I have played it a lot in the past. I've played season replays with it. It's just that now I don't play it all that much. And when I do play it, there's a lot of little, angles that I have to kind of get my paws around. So this is CP Cards and Dicing. Thanks for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys soon. You're very welcome, Al. I will see you soon, my friend.